Being a youth in Newcastle, I mean, if you've got no one there to like guide you or to, show you the proper way, it can be really difficult.
To help and support young people in social and personal development, in education and employment, through the means of engagement, befriending and positive mentoring. Befriending and engagement. Through our discussions with the youth, we found that some of the reasons they become involved in antisocial behaviour and extremism is due to boredom, negative peer pressure, and the susceptibility to ideological change. The MTEP Hype team organised various activities that would not only relieve that boredom, but would channel it into more positive team-building activities which the youth chose themselves. These activities were not just diversionary methods, but more importantly, they allowed the young people to be introduced into the Hype initiative and to our unique mentoring and befriending scheme, which is run by volunteers who are not only experienced in youth work, but also specialise and are equipped to deal with extremism. Giving the youth a voice. Voice of the streets.
The real question is, what isn't the problem? You got drugs, sex, alcohol, all that stuff that you shouldn't really be doing, you know what I mean? If you're Muslim, it just makes it worse, you know what I mean?
Well, if you go to school and like that, so obviously gonna be come up to you, racist, say, oh, you're Muslim, you're terrorist, you're bomb, right? So that's when the things happen.
If you go to the old school Westgate, you can read on the desk, they have gangs news on the eye. I have loads of them, EMB and that, NMB.
You just gotta stand up with a strong chest. See, life, any dream is possible, and if it's not possible, why am I standing here? See, nothing's impossible. Is that all right? Is that good? No good? No good?
Yeah, I served 6 years of a 9-year sentence. Went in when I was 17 and come out when I was 24. Just 6 years and a couple of months I served back in 2001. And yeah, time inside prison was, well, you really make it. In prison you've got to make it. Your time, you make it how you want it, really. No way to say it was easy. Eventually time does get easy, but what's hard is being away from everybody, you know, your family, main thing. It is a scary place. It is a really scary place.
So you were only 17?
17, yeah.
Wow. And can you describe yourself when you were 17, the kind of individual you were, kind of things you used to get up to, etc.?
At 17, I used to think that I was the man,
Right.
in control of everything, you know, really knew it all. The things that we used to get into was mainly women, drugs, and more drugs. Really didn't ever care about anybody in the world, just loads of young lads get together, and what happens is when loads of young lads who are bored get together, they brainstorm, and young lads, when they brainstorm, they never come up with anything good. You know, it's always, let's go do this, burglaries, robberies, mainly stuff, you know, petty crime mainly, that can get you in a lot of trouble. Education, the reason I would say I had no interest in it was school. I know school's not meant to be fun or anything, but there has to be, when you're kids, I think personally, there has to be some sort of interest towards that, you know, like, I don't know, say if you were good at football, then that'd probably drag you into school. All I got was from my parents was school, go to school, but they never explained, you know, why I should go to school, or, you know, you can tell when even your family's got an interest in your schooling, you know? And there was none of that. It was just go to school, and school really offered. Now, back in them days, we even had we had a lot of racism.
Right.
We had racism, and really it was from there. You just formed gangs, and you know, you get into a gang. The gang is the worst thing you can do. You just create a family outside of a family, don't you?
Right, yeah.
And that's what it is. And the bad ones that stayed out tend to go down the wrong path. I just happened to be one of them.
Right.
Positive local and celebrity role models.
My name is Muta Bill. Most people know me as Napoleon. I form a member of the Tupac Outlaws. In my short life, man, I experienced a lot of things out there. Flown on private jets, albums that sold over 40 million copies worldwide, shootouts, street fights, club fights, whatever you name it, been there, done that. Man, I experienced the ups and downs of this fast life. So I want to share with you my story, this Napoleon, life of an outlaw. I was 3 years old when my mother and father got murdered. After the murder of my parents, me and my brothers, we was in the house with the dead bodies for 24 hours. And I remember as a kid that I was biting my mother, trying to wake her up. I grew up in the house with my grandparents after the death of my mother and father. So whatever I would see out on the block, drug dealing or whatever, I would go in my room and I would write a song out of it. You know, it was a way for me to relieve whatever was inside of me. I was able to put it on paper. All I can remember all his life, he loved rapping. And I remember the first time I met Pop, man, he asked me to rhyme for him. I rhymed for him, we hit it off, and the rest is history. He got close with Pop and looked at Pop like a big brother or a father figure, you know, someone to look up to.
Muta was, him and Pac were bonded real tough.
I think Muta had become one of Tupac's extended family members.
Hey tonight. Death Row was a very fast life, man. Parties every night, private jets. We was living like kings.
There was a certain amount of arrogance they all had during that time because they were on cloud nine.
But I never expected to end that type of life. I never expected that life would come to an end so drastically and so soon.
There's gonna be some stuff you're gonna see that's gonna make it hard to smile in the future.
Yacine called Gaddafi's mother and said Tupac just got shot. Couldn't believe it, you know what I mean? And you know, but the first thing that I said in my head, well, he got shot 5 times before. He's gonna take this, come out, do records, sell millions of records again. But when I actually saw him in a hospital bed, to me, I knew for right there that it didn't look like he was gonna make it.
You know, and Pac loved them, and them two was bonding. So I know it affected him real hard.
Once again, Tupac Shakur dead at the age of 25.
It was a time when I was in the music industry and I had 3 houses at one time. Money was coming in, but I didn't have no inner happiness, you know what I mean? I didn't have happiness inside of me. So I knew that it had to be something else out there that could bring happiness besides money, jewelry, cars, and fame. Because once you get to a certain level, you start searching. And what I did is I turned to experiment different drugs, and I turned to drinking alcohol real heavy.
He was always liquored up. He was always liquored up and smoking weed.
I seen him wild out with the girls, wild out drinking alcohol, getting drunk, fighting.
And I happened to one day be in a recording studio, and I was very intoxicated. And I got into a fight with my little brother, and it got to the point where I almost probably killed my little brother. I hurt him so much that he had to go to the hospital to get staples in his head. And it happened to be a Muslim brother who was in the parking lot, and he broke the fight up. He calmed me down. He came and spoke to me.
I said, imagine tomorrow waking up sober and realizing that you killed your brother. How would you feel about that? He always asked me to come to the masjid, and for a while I was ignoring him.
And when I first went up there, I remember I went up there deep, about 20 or 30 boys with me. And I went there expecting that it's just gonna be like how I roll everywhere else with a posse, a crew, and we just gonna hang out. But when I went there, that's when I seen something different that basically inclined me to want to know more about what these people was upon. That's what changed my life ever since then.
Would you just smile? Smile for me. Would you just smile?
Good man, mashallah. Hang with the brother, you know. But that's good, man. You keep it up, you know what I mean? Once you take that first step, Allah is with you. You know what I mean? If it get rough for you, as a Muslim, no Muslim is perfect. We all have our shortcomings. We all gonna fall down. But the main thing is that when we fall down, we jump right back up. If we fall down again, we keep going. We just keep going, no matter how hard it get. You know what I mean? Everything. How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Good? What's happening with you? What's happening in the neighborhood? I'm from America, yeah. No, I live in America. Like the brother just mentioned, I come here to do some youth work, talk to the kids. I travel to do, talk to different kids and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, I come most of the time I'm in London. But we're gonna work on a new program where I might try to come every month, once a month.
The young people that we are working with at MTEP Hype are those that are on the edge. Those that are involved in crime, drugs, and just generally not engaged enough in a positive way. In a way that they can relate to, culturally and sensitively, from someone that they trust. They need people who they can relate to and who can influence them positively. Our unique mentoring program handpicks volunteers from within the community who have these crucial characteristics. Local, regional, and even international role models are used by MTEP Hype, who the young people they trust, to get the message across, to empower and influence them. We work on the streets, in the hotspots. We go to their domain, on their terms, in their comfort zone. We work with the kids on the streets who are on the edge, the drug dealers. We engage with them and convince them and talk to them on their level. 9 of them, for example, have seen the light and at the very least have started to think about their actions and move away from what they're doing. The local gangs or gang wannabes who may be involved in crime are engaged on a regular basis to make them think about what they're doing by people who they look up to. This is the majority of what we do. Violence and those who celebrate it are taken out of their domain and comfort zone to a neutral place to engage with them on our mentoring and befriending scheme to challenge their current way of thinking. Prevention, engagement and reform are the key ingredients to our program. Through respect, culture and understanding. MTEP Hype, helping young people evolve.